Apple announced the absolutely insane M4 iPad Pro along with an impressive new keyboard, and they even said that it makes it feel just like a Mac. But it's not a Mac. In many ways, this iPad is better than any Mac. I love how the iPad floats in the air, which brings the display closer to your face so it feels bigger, and you actually get more vertical space with its aspect ratio. And now the keyboard is made out of aluminum with a full row of function keys at the top with an escape key and a large glass trackpad with haptic feedback. So working on this will feel like a Mac, except you have Face ID, which we've been asking for forever now. And it's got a much wider camera that's now centrally located. And the display, man, the display, dual layer OLED with 1000 nits of SDR brightness. That is better than any MacBook. Actually, it is the best display in the world with pure black that's combined with the best anti-reflectivity coatings, so you won't get those gray blacks on Samsung OLED tablets, and also no blooming to deal with. And you get the M4 chip that was revealed in an iPad that is faster than even the new M3 Max, with other features that are more advanced than any M3s, along with better power efficiency. And of course, you have a rear camera to scan documents and for other shots, along with a touchscreen, which is convenient at times, as well as the Apple Pencil for notes and other tasks. And because of the thinner, lighter design of both the iPad and the keyboard, it is no longer going to be heavier than a MacBook. Plus, you can remove the computer and use it handheld at any time. This is the ultimate laptop for most people, except it still has the same old iPadOS. Instead of showing off the software that we saw in their patent, where the keyboard allows the iPad to have a full desktop experience. Now I know that there are plenty of people that use these the way they are and it works for them, and some people say we shouldn't be frustrated, but the thing is, we are so close to having this be the ultimate computer for almost anyone and everyone, just like Apple has been trying to call this a computer replacement for years. And with the prices of these things, Apple can't lose out because people would be buying and spending that extra money. So what did they actually say about the software? Well, the crazy thing is, they didn't mention iPadOS at all. They started off by showing us these pro apps and the updates that we got. And for Final Cut, well, it actually looks pretty good. The first part of it is getting to edit off of external drives. And honestly, this was one of my biggest complaints, and this should have happened from the very start. They showed being able to remove a background using AI with the more powerful neural engine, and the new Final Cut camera app, which will allow 4 different devices to connect wirelessly, and you can do multicam live, and then it sends previews to your iPad and later sends the full files, syncs everything together along with more control. So that is awesome, and the part of that is just being able to use this app on iPhones for better video, and that is really cool. I'm excited for the app for the iPhone, but for the iPad, this still costs $5 a month. You can only get it as a subscription, and they made it a little bit better, but that is just one of the apps. You can open your projects on the macOS version, but you can't go vice versa back to the iPad because they are limiting it. They also showed off Logic Pro 2 with a bunch of new effects that use the neural engine, and I think the coolest part is being able to just drop a song over and split it into different parts. That is really nice if you're going to be working with audio, but that is just an update to an app that is available there. And even then, they said that it's not out yet. It's going to be out sometime later this spring, and technically at WWDC, see, that is still late spring, not summer. Now these features are powered by the new neural engine in the M4, and they showed off 38 trillion operations per second. The M1 was 11, M2 15.8, M3 at 18, and now, is this more than double? Is this the biggest jump ever? Well, not so fast. This is based on how it is measured. Before, Apple used to use FP16, and it seems like now they're using int 8 to get the numbers to go higher because that is what the competition is doing. And they said that this is the best performance out there today, specifically because we know that there's gonna be new chips coming out that are gonna do a really good job. And this brings me to why they didn't mention any other AI features in the whole event. And then they pointed out that they've had neural engines ever since the iPhone 8 with the A11, and other companies are just starting to add them. But unfortunately, software-wise, other companies are doing way more than Apple is doing. Now we know that Apple is going to make a big push this year at WWDC, and this is the perfect chip, but so far they haven't said much. But by the end of the event, they mentioned WWDC in a much bigger way than they have ever done for hardware launches, literally saying, we'll talk about the future of our platforms, and we are excited to share the details of what is to come. Now the interesting thing is that they didn't even talk about iPadOS. They only showed off how people are using it now and how people are using Stage Manager in its current state before showing off the new iPad, instead of showing off the iPad and then showing off some new software features. Now I think that this signifies that they have some big changes to come. They said the future of their platforms and systems. And I don't think that they want to limit this iPad to what they currently have in terms of software, which is why they did it this way. And to be honest, I have to say that they really need to do something. We've had amazing hardware updates for years that blew our minds, but each time it's the software that holds it back for a lot of people. And now we are going from $800 to $1,000 if you want the cheapest base level iPad Pro, and $1,300 for the 13-inch model. These iPads are crazy expensive, and an M3 MacBook Air, if you match up 16 gigs and 1 terabyte, costs $1,700, whereas the 13-inch iPad Pro with 1 terabyte also coming with 16 gigs is $1,900. $200 more than the MacBook, and that is without a keyboard or an Apple Pencil. If you add the keyboard, you're at $2,250. Now, yes, you do get a camera on the back from the iPhone XS. You do get a really nice touchscreen display, but the M3 14-inch MacBook Pro that has the mini LED with 1 terabyte and 16 gigs of RAM is still $250 cheaper. And we know that soon we are gonna get the M4s in that system. At this point of my life with what I'm doing, I would be happy with an iPad replacing my MacBook. The M4 chip is more powerful, a lot more powerful than the M1 Pro MacBook, and in a lot of ways the M2, and having the ability to use it as a tablet for a media device or games, with it being lighter and incredibly thin, and then docking with the new aluminum keyboard and haptic trackpad would be amazing. But we still have a lot of software limitations that we had in 2018. I know Apple's gonna finally give us a calculator app on the iPad after almost 15 years, but what we really need is a full desktop experience like they got in their own patents that they filed for. Samsung has had it forever, and with Apple, the only reason that we don't have it already is because they haven't wanted us to. The iPad has the same CPU, GPU, and memory as a Mac, and the apps technically can work on both. Yes, the hardware is amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on it, and we have 5 ordered actually that we're gonna be testing and comparing. But if Apple wants people to spend this much money, they have to do more with software. Here in 2024, where people's budgets are spread thin with the cost of everything, you have to have a good reason to update, and extra hardware is nice, but if you can't do more with it, well, that is gonna be a really hard sell. And I do think that with the same iPadOS, it's not going to be something that's going to be worth the price tag. But you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Did you buy one of these? Are you okay with nothing else changing other than getting that nicer display, nicer, expensive keyboard? I want to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and click that circle above and check out one of those videos right over there. We have a lot of great info for you guys. This is Max, and I'll see you in the next one.